good morning, and welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1072, and today we're in my office, my indoor office, where I work inside my RV, and I wanted to show you what I've been working on all weekend. I'm super proud of what I've been up to, and thought you might like to see some behind the scenes. And what else? Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Hi Donna, hi Mariana, good morning. I'll wait for a few minutes for people to pop over from pre-chat and notifications. My hair looks a little crazy. Let's see if we can tame it in a little bit. Hi Thea, hi Rita, good morning. Happy Monday. Hi Judy, good morning. Hi Carrie, hi Sharon, good morning. Hi Marjorie. So where I'm sitting right now in the dinette in my RV, this is where I sit and work every day. Hi, Judy and Judy, Mariana, Angela, Sean, good morning. Hi, Judy, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hi, Naomi. Hi, Leona and Angela and Barbara and Edna, good morning. Hi, Jeannie and Lori and Ukraine Strong, Nora Sue, Lottie. So many people here today. I feel like there's more people than normal. Maybe I'm just excited to see so many familiar names. I recognize a lot of the names as people that are here regularly. If you're new to the show, please always feel welcome to say hello as well. We have lots of moderators here and we keep things nice and clean and peaceful as possible. So if you want to say hello, it is a very warm and inviting group. Hi, Marcia. Good morning. Hi, Joe. Good morning. Thanks, Jeannie. I love my new hat. I am so excited about this. I had one years ago, and in fact, if you look back at the photos of the Isla Morada crochet shawl, I had a hat just like this, and I lost it at some point. I don't know if I lost it or it got damaged or what happened, but I have missed it ever since, and recently I saw one scrolling on Amazon for $19, and I was like, for $19, you can't deny yourself a hat that you love anymore. So I took the plunge and bought it. How's everybody doing today? Was anybody crafty this weekend? Did anybody work on anything fun? I know I have been working. I worked all weekend, and I got caught up on some shows because the type of work I've been doing this weekend didn't involve any math calculations in my head. So okay, I'm writing a book, obviously, book 22. It's going to be called Crochet Power Edgings. And when I drew all the charts, I needed super concentration to draw all of them. When I write the written instructions to correlate with the charts, I need a lot of concentration. Make sure everything lines up correctly. Make sure I cross all my T's, dot all my I's, all that good stuff. And I'm looking for accuracy. And when I'm looking for accuracy, I absolutely don't like to have TV on in the background. In fact, here's a tidbit for you. As much as I love blues and soul music, and I listen to that a lot, when I am working on concentration type of work like that, I don't listen to music that I know and love, because then I want to sing along. I listen to classical music when I'm working on things like that, and which is so fun too, because I do love classical music. And then when that part of the book was done and it was time to start stitching, then I have to come up with a color palette, organize my chapters, and then I organized my chapters by color. And then as I was doing that, I realized there were actually more chapters than I set out to make, because each of the chapters had roughly a similar number of edgings, except for one chapter that had way more than the rest. And when I explain it to you, it will make sense. So there's bottom-up construction, which is not the largest chapter. Then there is fringe, and I actually have a chapter on fringe and dangles. A crochet edging chapter on fringe and dangly things. Like, I'm super excited that I'm offering a whole chapter on that. That's exciting in itself. It really is. Anyway, so it's a smaller chapter. It's more like the first one, the bottom-up construction. Then the third chapter is perpendicular construction, and that means, let's say you have a top-down shawl, and then you're going to work that edging sideways and join it as you go. Or let's say you crochet a strip of edging, short little rows that go back and forth, and then you come around to the top of it and work from the top to do bottom up. So there are a lot of ways that you can use perpendicular edgings to either join as you go, work into the side of them, or use them on their own. Sometimes they can be skinny scarves, they can be head scarves, they can be headbands, they can be purse straps, they can be eyeglass cords, they can be all sort of belts, they can be standalone things as well. So there's a lot of good reason to have a perpendicular edging chapter as well. And that one's a little larger than the other two chapters. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I did that chapter in 2 colors so that I could just vary sometimes, and I'll explain why. I'll explain a little more in a minute. So I did 2 colors within the same color family. So for example, bottom-up construction is all done in blue. The fringe chapter is all done in gold, and then the perpendicular edging chapter is done in greens. So some of them are in the light green, some of them are in the dark green, and I even went so far as to show you examples of the different ways that you would join them. So for example, on I'll show you the edging here. So this edging I did, these aren't steamed yet. I have woven in all my ends so far though, so yay me, pat on the back. I've been very mature and responsible and weaving in my ends as I go, which I'm super proud of. Anyway, they all still need to be steamed and blocked before photography, but we'll get there. So for example, so like this one's a little curly still, it'll lay flat, don't worry. So the edging is the green part, the light green part. The dark green part is me showing you an example of how you would add this to a fabric. So in a lot of these examples, not only am I showing you the edging, but I'm showing you how to add it to a fabric and then telling you what the stitch multiple is that you'll either gain at the end or need at the start, depending on the construction style. So, oh, so much information in here. Like, this isn't your standard stitch dictionary where there's no helpful information and it's just edgings or it's just stitches. There's just so much more information in here. Okay, so I went over the first 3 chapters. It was bottom up in blues, fringe and dangles in gold, and then perpendicular edgings in the greens. Then I had all of these beautiful pinky purple colors that I dedicated to chapter 5, which is top-down construction. Top-down construction is by far the biggest category of edging in general, not just in my book. And so I wanted to dedicate not only this chapter to top-down edgings, but there's so much to top-down edgings, and even though I separated it into 3 categories, I probably could have separated it into even more, but anyway, I separated it into 3. So, because I said I do the edgings in one color, and then I show how you either work from a fabric or have a fabric to start with, I created each of those edgings in the 3 subcategories in different combinations of these 3 colors. So, what does that mean? Okay, so I separated them out into 1-row edgings, 2-row edgings, and multi-row edgings. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example of all 3 so you can see what I mean. Okay, there's one, and then we'll grab one of these. Grab a smaller one maybe. That one's smaller? Okay, all right. So here's the multi-row edgings. They're all going to be done in the light rows, Heather, but worked onto a fabric body in the stitch multiple in the dark rows, Heather. And you might be saying, well, why? What's so important about that? I want you to be able to pick up this edging book, say, I'm working on this type of a project, I have this type of a stitch multiple, what edgings can I use? So very clearly at the beginning of this edging, it's going to say this stitch pattern is a multiple of blank, let's say 10 stitches plus 1, and then it'll say, and the sample shown is worked over 31 stitches. So if it was a multiple of 10 plus 1, it still is helpful to say, okay, well, what is how do I work that out? I know not everybody loves the math. So on this particular one, it's 3 repeats. Let's say it's this one might be 4 repeats. So then it might be 40. It depends on the stitch pattern. So I think you see what I'm saying. I start it with the fabric body first so that you can see with the multiple how you add it for that top-down construction. And I said that this chapter in those 3 pretty berry colors is broken out into 3 different subchapters. So here is a 1-row pattern, here is a 2-row pattern, and then this is the multi-row pattern. So you can see they still really coordinate well together, but they all 3 are very specifically in different combinations. So this is the purple over the dark rows for 2-row repeat. This is light rows over the purple for 1-row repeat, and this is dark rows over light rows for the multi-row repeat. So even though they all coordinate, because I wanted the same color for all top-down construction, you can see that they're really distinctively different for each of the subchapters. So like I won't mix and match these edgings within the same chapter. So I think chapter 4? So chapter 4 will have a part 1, part 2, and part 3, or I don't know what I'll call it, but it'll be 1-row repeats, 2-row repeats, and then multi-row 1-row edgings, 2-row edgings, and multi-row edgings. And you might say, well, why do I really want it to be separated out by that? Lots of reasons. Think about it. If you're making a project and you're not following a pattern and you have the amount of yarn you have, let's say you're making a top-down half circle shawl, right? And you're like, I want a really ornate edging for this. So I'm going to look at the bottom, I'm going to look at the top-down construction, and I'm going to look at the multi-row edgings. And some of them are really big ones. Some of them are a lot bigger. Look at how much bigger this one is. See? So some of them are really large and some of them are not so large, but they're all over 2 rows. So I had to separate it by some in some context. So it's either 1-row repeat, 2-row repeats, or multi-row repeats. But let's say you're like, this shawl, I want a super ornate edging on. Or let's say I'm working on a tablecloth and I don't have much yarn left. What kind of edging can I put on there that doesn't require a whole lot of yarn? Well, I'm not going to go to the multi-row edging subchapter. Then I'm going to go to the 1-row or 2-row edgings. If I'm thinking about yarn and yardage, I might go with something that takes less yarn. If I'm going for an aesthetic that's more simple, I might go with this. And if I'm going for an aesthetic that's more elaborate, I might go for that. So I feel like it's another way to be able to whittle down what you're looking for to be able to focus on a smaller section. I'm shooting for around 100 edgings in this book. So if you don't have them organized in such a way that any crafter can say, I know what I need for my project, where can I focus my energy? I feel like it's a disservice to anybody reading the book. I want this book to be the best tool you've ever had for combining edgings to projects already. And I feel like I'm really onto something with this, and I'm really excited about it. And between all the colors and everything, I'm just so excited. So, and I've got so many of them done now. Like, oh, I don't even know where I'm at. Do you want me to count real quick? I could count on my computer. It shouldn't take me too long. And I have all of these separated into separate bags because when it comes time to photograph, I'm going to need to, All these have their ends woven in too. Wait till you see how many things I have this. Oh yes, a skirt or a dress for sure. Yes. And don't forget, all of these can be used for crochet on fabric too. You can use any of these to attach to, and it's something existing in your closet. You could add sleeves, you could add edging to a skirt, edging to the hem of a top. You could add edging to a blanket, whatever, anything. Yes, that is a mandala behind me, and there's a pattern for it, and Judy's sharing it right now. Oh, I want to mention this wall here too. I have something that I'd really like to put on this wall, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But I said that I would show you all of this collectively first. So this is how much I have done so far. I almost took these outside to show you this morning, and I was like, what if I lose a bag? These are really valuable. I've put a lot of time and energy into this, and I really don't want to move them around much. But here's all my bags so far. Let's see. I have 2 bags. I have 2 full bags for perpendicular edging. I have 1 full bag for bottom-up construction. I have 1 full bag for fringe and dangles construction. And then I have 2 bags for multi-row top-down, and 1 bag each for 1 row and 2 row top-down. Okay, I said I'd tell you how many I have left to go. Oh, and I was going to tell you what shows I've been watching now that I am on to the crocheting part and I can watch TV in the background. So the first show I watched when I started all this was 1883. That's the prequel show to not Tombstone, to Yellowstone. And oh my God, it was so good. So good. And I think I cried through the last 3 episodes. It really touched me in a very emotional way. I loved it. Okay, so let's see, what do we have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I have 26 more to go. 26 more to go, and then I'll be done with the edgings. And then at that point, that's when I will steam all of them, photograph all of them, then lay them out in the book and start contacting my testers. So there's still a lot of work to do, but definitely making a lot of progress. The other 2 shows that I watched this weekend while I was doing this was Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know, some might judge me for it. Some might agree that they like the drama of the show. I like the drama of the show. And then the show I started watching after that, which I'm really loving, is Elementary. It's with Lucy Liu, and it's a Sherlock Holmes type of a show. Very, very good. And let's see, what else? Oh, and I've been working with my guitar this weekend. I've been practicing some chords. I realized I don't know how to, I need to tune it, and I probably need to change the strings on my guitar, both of which I don't know how to do, and it kind of scares me. I wish I knew someone to do it for me, which is so not my attitude. So, is my little helper sleeping? He's probably sleeping. He was up all night, waking me up for cuddles all night long. He was actually a little stink pot overnight. I bet he's sleeping now. And he's like, it's hard work begging for cuddles all night. I gotta sleep all day now. He woke me up at least 6 times last night. At least. And that was in and around when my back was bothering me and I wasn't sleeping. So, yay! No, I think he's sleeping. I think he's sleeping in bed. So, if you were on the homepage of my YouTube channel this morning, you might have seen that I am really, really close to reaching a very special milestone here on YouTube. Sometime today or tomorrow, I'm probably going to reach 100,000 subscribers, which is so exciting. I've been wishing and dreaming for this day for a very long time, and I don't really know the process. However, once I have reached 100,000 subscribers, I know YouTube is going to gift me a plaque, and I've decided I think it's going to go there. Won't that be great? So like when I'm sitting here, there'll be a little bit of yarn and there'll be the plaque. I think that's going to be exciting. But at the same time, it's not a big deal. It does not define me. It doesn't define what I'm doing. I don't do things for statistics. And for that reason, I don't think I'm going to do anything special when we get there. It's a wonderful milestone. It absolutely, it's one of those things kind of like my marathon medal. It's something you can't buy. It's only something you can work on with hard work and by not giving up. And I'm super proud that I'm going to get there. But at the same time, it's just a number, and it doesn't have anything to do with what we're trying to really achieve here, which is just to bring more positivity and creativity into as many people's lives as possible, which has always been my goal here, is to just, leave the world better than I found it. That's always been my goal in everything that I do, and that doesn't change with any numbers, but yet it's still cool. And it's not every day you get something cool for free, so I'm pretty excited that they're going to send me. I have an idea for some sort of a party, Marcia. We might do some sort of silly little party. I do have an idea, and I did buy something for it, but it's not here yet, and I'll surprise you guys with something. We are going to do a little party, but we're just not going to do anything big. Nothing feels big and fancy to me this year. Everything feels so stripped down with everything that I've been through, and with as simple as my life, simplified as my life is. My life's not simple, but I feel like it's been simplified and brought to a different place. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that I haven't worked very, very hard, Judy, but it's not going to cost me to buy the plaque. And that's the other thing. The plaque is not for sale. You can only earn it. You can't buy it, which is why I love my marathon medal so much. It's something that you can't buy. You can only earn. And that's how I feel about the YouTube plaque. And I'm positive it's going to go up on the wall. Positive. All the years that I've been working towards it, I thought that it was going to look amazing in a fancy studio, and turns out it's going to be behind my dinette in my RV, but that's fine. Edna doesn't want to see tears. I'm not crying today, Edna. I know I am an emotional person, and I do get overwhelmed with emotion sometimes, but not today. Yep, you never know. There might be one on eBay. Wouldn't mean anything to me, though. I've even heard about people buying Emmys that way. People have bought Emmys to put on their wall because after finding them on eBay. That means absolutely nothing to me. Nothing at all. All right, does anybody have any questions? I was excited to show you all this. I've come so far, and I've got so much to do. Thank you, Busy Bunny. That's right, Naomi. You never give up. That's right. That's true too, Twanisha. If you don't work for it, you don't appreciate it. I 100% agree with that. That's right. Yes, Rita, life is day by day. Yes. Thanks, Janet. I'm very proud of all that I've accomplished, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see this book come to life, and I've been having a lot of fun sharing the behind the scenes this time. I don't think that I've shared this much behind the scenes of a book while in progress before. If I have, I apologize if I'm speaking something not true, but for some reason, to me, it feels like I've shared a lot more behind the scenes this time, and it's part of just where my heart is and my brain is. I want to help people with whatever skills that I have. And so as I'm looking to create more courses on my website and more videos and just more tutorials in general, I would really love to help people not only learn how to knit and crochet and be creative, but also help people on you know, how to set up different parts of their business if people have dreams of being an entrepreneur like me. So whether it's teaching more about photography or teaching more how to set up different things, how to write a book, how to publish a book, there's all sorts of things. Well, I explained the perpendicular edging, and I explained it with the, but I suppose it'll take more than just a conversation if you don't understand from what I've said so far. However, perpendicular edging means that it's made separate from the body of the work, and you either join it as you go every other row with a slip stitch like this. Let's say you have a half circle shawl here, and you're working back and forth in your rows of your edging. As you come back to the body of the work, you're slip stitching to join. That's one way to do a perpendicular edging. The other way is to create the edging by itself and then to come around from the top side and crochet a row into it, and then you have that last row of something. So let's say with the opposite construction, let's say you were still doing a half circle shawl, you would be starting with the last row of your work and then decreasing up, having started with the edging. So perpendicular edging can actually be bottom up or top down, so to speak. It's perpendicular edging, but it can be done first, and then you work your last row of your, the largest row of your piece, and then decrease up or something like that. Or you could have your piece and then join it as you go with slip stitches. Either way works, but perpendicular edging could also be sewn to a fabric as well. What it means is that it's a smaller, it's worked sideways, it's worked in the opposite direction of the piece. It doesn't have to be though. Like if you're doing a lengthwise scarf or wrap, you could work those edgings on either side as well, but they're usually thinner strips and work back and forth, not from top to bottom and not from bottom up. Hopefully that helps you a little bit more, but again, if it's something that you don't understand and you can't grasp the visual that I'm sharing, you'll just learn another time. It's okay. Oh, do I hear somebody? Hi, sugar. You gonna come up? Come on. We've got company. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Come on, come say hi. Look who's here. Look who's here. Who came to see us? It's baby Bjorn. Oh, good, Barbara. I'm glad. You want to say hi? Hi. He's such a good kitty. Who's a good kitty? So he likes to stand here at the table for little pats on his butt. He'll put his front paws up here. Yeah, he sits just like this for me to, I call it spanking his booty, but obviously I'm not spanking him, I'm just tapping him. But he goes crazy when I do this, and he sits here and just chirps and cries and purrs and just goes crazy while I sit here and tap his booty. Can you hear him? You hear him talking? Probably not over the AC. Let's go, maybe the AC will turn up. Can you hear him crying? Oh, if I bring the camera closer, maybe you can hear him. Can you hear him? He just chirps and purrs. It's so cute. He does this all the time. He just talks and talks. Who's a happy kitty, huh? Who's a happy kitty? Yeah, he squeaks like that. He just squeaks. Yeah, so good boy. So Such a good boy. Yeah, he just loved being tapped on this spot. So Becker was the one that I first discovered loved this, and I had Googled it saying, what in the heck? Why does my kitty like spankings on his butt so much? And it turns out that some kitties have extra nerve endings in the base of their spine where their tail is attached. And yes, it is the sweet spot in both of my boys. Becker's going to be gone 6 months soon. And boy, Bjorn is really, his personality has really grown. Oh, Busy Bunny knows what I'm talking about. Your cat and Bunny love it. Yes. And he just sits here and chirps and talks and purrs and goes crazy. Such a happy kitty. Such a happy boy. Who's a baby? Who's a big baby? Oh, it's a baby. Kisses for the baby. Kisses for the baby. He is just purring away. One of the other sweet things that he does is he lets me, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it in this angle. He likes me to tickle him in between his toes and his back feet, and he stretches his paw out like this for me to get in there. It is so cute. All right, he's just going nuts. Okay, does anybody have any other questions? Great question about the perpendicular edging, and I hope I was able to explain it a little further, but we'll certainly get to it when I have more visuals to share with you. Does anybody have any other questions though? No, we're tapping the camera now. All right, I don't see any other questions. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with us. Oh, now he's burying his head in the bags. Silly kitty. All right, well, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow for the next crochet along. Please join me tomorrow morning at 9, and we will be talking about shawls for sharing. We will be stitching together, and I will show you more options for the easy breezy crochet shawl. Whoa, baby Bjorn, what you doing, buddy? He says, it's time for some attention. All right, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.